Okay, I just wanted to spend a minute reviewing the updated grading guidelines. You'll have this as a document. I'll also put this up on Blackboard. You can use this to make sure that the final grade that's reflected in Blackboard is representative of what it should be based on this table. So, what I've tried to do is shift to a labor-based grading model, or a more explicit labor-based grading model, I should say. And so, what constitutes the labor? Because we haven't had attendance, we haven't had class meetings, is simply going to be the assignments that we've had over the course of the semester. And so we've had about 8 or 9 major assignments, 3 major essays, 8 or 9 total assignments over the course of the 3 units, give or take, based on individual classes. But I based this off of that understanding. And so if you take a look, it says here at the top, as a result of the change in learning format and all the barriers we've had to endure this semester, I've revised the grading table to be as equitable to students as possible. Because we haven't been able to see each other or have regular individual interactions, opportunities for conferencing, or class time, the grading schedule outlined below allows me to ensure that learning outcomes have been met and an honest effort has been made by students to complete the coursework. As I said when we were going over the syllabus in week 1, really the course is all about the learning outcomes. That continues to be the case, and I want to make sure that that's reflected in the grade that you receive for the course. Now, last week I sent out some guidance around pass or U, a PU grade, so pass or unsuccessful. That doesn't apply to you if you get a grade above a C. So if you get a grade C or above, for most students, and I'll tell you the exception in a minute, you're going to want to keep the course grade. And the reason for that is that the course grade, a C or above in a course grade, is essentially a ticket to whatever degree program in SUNY that you want. So English 103 and English 104 have the greatest transferability of any class at OCC for SUNY courses. And to be fair, um, most colleges, SUNY or otherwise, will take those credits. Will take English 103 and 104 credits. And they will count them not as free elective, but they'll count them towards the course that you've taken. And that's an important distinction to make. You can count credits, but those credits might just kind of float in the free elective category. What you want is you want those credits to count towards your program. Now, many colleges and institutions in the past, I'm not sure what they're going to do in the future because COVID-19 has changed everything, but in the past, many colleges have looked at a pass-fail grade or a pass-unsuccessful grade as not counting towards a specific course requirement. Even though it's a pass, they can't determine what level of success you've had in the class, to what extent you've met the learning outcomes, all those things. So a C is much better than a P or a pass for most courses. If you're someone who's concerned about your GPA and you're planning on taking the course again, P in the course will not affect your GPA, but it might affect, you want to talk to financial aid, it might affect your ability to reapply for funding. And so I have a policy, the department has a policy actually, that we don't assign D grades. I'm going to continue that policy because a D grade disqualifies you from financial aid, and a D doesn't count towards your program graduation and almost everything we offer here at OCC or anywhere. And so if you find yourself in that strange position, feel free to let me know. So I just want to go through what each of the grades means. So to earn an A or an A minus, you need to have completed all major and minor assignments. And so an A means you've completed all the assignments. All of the assignments meet the stated requirements on the paper outline, right? On the paper rubric that I give you when we get a new assignment. It also means that you've completed all of your pre-writing assignments and all of the rough drafts. I've taken the attendance grade off, so that's no longer visible to you, even though that was a big part of our first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 weeks. Um, I didn't think it was fair to count that or to look at that um, in determining grades. So for an A, everything is completed, everything meets the requirement. That means page length, that means explicitly stated thesis statements, that means organized paragraphs, that means meeting the guidelines outlined under nuts and bolts on the assignment sheet. An A minus is all the major and minor assignments complete, and most of them meet minimum requirements. And so if you had a paper that came up shorter, right, but you still turned all three in, but the paper that was shorter still had a definable thesis, had a strong intro, strong conclusion, did all the things that a paper was supposed to do, you can still get a grade in the A range. Now, starting a B plus, all major essays are completed and meet the minimum requirements, and at least 2 minor assignments are completed. So if you've turned in all of the papers, right, and you've turned in at least 2 of the supporting documents, so that might be your pre-writing assignments, that might be rough drafts, right, that will allow you to earn a B plus. And I think that's fairly liberal. I would have liked to gone a little higher, but I wanted to make sure that people that completed all 3 of their essays and met the requirements of those essays were still able to earn a strong grade. As we slide down here, if you have just done the essays, so the 3 major essays, and those essays meet the minimum stated requirements, you'll earn a B. Okay. All major essays completed and 2 meet the minimum requirements, or 2 major and all minor assignments completed will earn a B minus. So those major assignments again are the essays. All right. So if you've done the essays and all of the extra work, right, all of the pre-writing assignments, all of the rough drafts, then you're going to be able to earn a B minus. If you've only completed 2 essays, so if you've fallen off, or if you've completed 3 essays and 2 of them don't meet the minimum requirements, right, then you're going to fall under this C plus. In order to get a C plus, you will have had to have done at least some of the minor assignments. And so, as you can see, I don't need to read all of this, but 2 major essays, both meeting minimum requirements, falls under a C. 2 major essays, 1 meeting the minimum requirements, and at least 2 minor assignments completed, falls under a C minus. This would typically be the D grade here, but because I'm not giving a D, I didn't want to roll that into an F. If you've completed 2 of the major essays, I can see that you understand the concepts, that you've met the minimum learning outcomes for the course. Then I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here with a C minus. If you have completed 1 or fewer major essays, there is no way to get through this course. And so you're going to want to go in after the course finishes, and you'll want to have the F grade changed over to a U grade. And that's something that students need to do on their own. That's not something that I'm able to do as the instructor. So you're going to want to reach out to your advisor, I believe, or Student Central, or your school coach, school chief, whoever the head of your academic school is. That should be listed right on your WebAdvisor account under My OCC. I'm really hoping to avoid assigning incompletes for this semester. It would really need to be extenuating circumstances. We are at the 11th right now. That means we have 7 days after this to resolve anything that you need to resolve to earn a physical grade. Something like, I can't remember the exact statistic, but um, it's something like 90% of incomplete grades assigned convert to a failing grade. And I don't want to put anybody in that position. And the college has asked us to limit incompletes as much as we possibly can. So I think that really resolving this now, resolving this before the formal end of the semester, is going to be in everyone's best interest. And then finally, if you want help regarding the end of the semester, registering for summer, registering for fall courses, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction or to take a look at your transcript or to take a look at your course plan before you formally register. But it's all rolling registration. You don't have to wait for a specific day. You can actually plan out your fall and your spring courses for next semester. And so I'd be happy to show you how that goes. I also know, and I wrote something about this to my own advisees, next fall, instructors have been encouraged to create a course that can work both in person and online. And so the course is going to be planned for a contingency like this, should we need to move to a remote format. The courses are going to be designed to accommodate that. So it's not going to be like, we have 4 days to turn an in-person class into an online class the way we did this semester. And so just so that you know, it's going to be a much more kind of concerted effort to um, to create classes that easily go online. Okay, and so as I've said before, and as I said in the other recording that I'm going to be releasing at the same time, if you have any questions whatsoever about your grade for the course or about the way the grade is tabulated, please don't hesitate to let me know. Otherwise, I hope you all stay well. I hope you have a wonderful summer. Um, and if you need anything between now and when I see you possibly in the fall, don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you all so much.